Hi everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, I just wanted to show you how you can start using the metasploit framework within a Kali box. Now you may ask, okay, I mean metasploit is already pre-installed. Why even create this video? Now I wanted to do this because I know that you just want to get started with the tool, but there are a few things that happens behind the scene when you start using the tool, and I want you all to be aware of it. Now, if you have seen the other two videos that I have for how to install it for the Windows and a Linux, which does not come with a default installation of Metasploit framework, you may have some idea what I'm talking about. But if you have not, let's give you the knowledge that you really need. So I'm using the latest version of the Kali, okay, and it is a newer version of the Kali. And what we have, uh, if you go, and there are several security improvements, by the way, in the new latest version of the Kali. You no longer log in as the root, right? Everything that you do, you have to do it with a sudo privilege if you're doing any privileged work. Um, Now that the Metasploit framework, it comes pre-installed. That means you can always go there. Okay, you can search for Metasploit and it will show up. You can click on that one. Okay, then if I provide my password properly, then it should open up. But see some interesting things. Database already started. The database appeared to be already configured, skipping initialization. Okay, so this is some stuff that when you are using this, okay, and the way we are starting our Metasploit, everything is pre-configured. And what is it that you don't even realize or you don't pay attention to? There is a Postgres database, and that gets configured, and that is very useful. Okay, maybe at the beginning you are not using that database too much, but that database is extremely useful to import scanning data for another tools. Maybe you already know you have thousands of hosts that you already know that you have to do the pen test. You don't have to create manually any of that stuff. You can just get the report. Now, one thing I always suggest when you open this one up, just do a db, then connect db for database. Actually do the status. Okay, db status, it says, hey, connected to msf metasploit, and connection type, if you look at it, is the Postgres. Now you may ask, I mean, how, what's going on, who configured that? Certainly you didn't. Right? So let's go there and open up maybe another one. Okay, where is my another one? File, maybe a new tab. Okay, so in here I'm in my home folder, right? So if I do a pwd, I'm in my home folder. This is my username right now. If I do a ls dash lah, okay, so this is going to be there should be a dot msf4, this folder. Okay, this folder is where the metasploit, it 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 saves all the configuration. So let's just go inside the folder cd.msf4. If I do ls here, you see I have a configuration history, logos, root, plugin, all kinds of stuff. They already got stored in here. And let's see, ls dash lah. Okay, so you have, as I said, config, history, local. I still don't see it. Typically, the db folder also gets created in here a lot of times, but for this particular installation, looks like the db folder is somewhere else. Let's look at a quick look at the config file. Let's see what we have here. The config file doesn't really have too much. Do another ls, load plugin, store data, local logs, module report. Let's go and let's look inside data. What we have, we really have nothing. So what I recommend, a play, mess around with this one just a little, okay, and see what you can find here. Okay, all right everyone, so the thing I was trying to say, that you need to find the database.yml files. So if I do a ls here, you see this is the file. Now, when you run your MSF console automatically, everything is created and it's connected, and your Postgres is good, and all the information is in this file. Okay. Now, here is your adapter, your default database, your username, your password, the port where it's running. All of that is now configured for a test environment or production environment. Okay. Also for a development environment. Now, all of that happened behind the scene, right? Another thing I want to make sure that you remember this path, user share metasploit-framework config. Okay, this is the Kali Linux 2022 version. This is where it got created. If you're using any other Linux, you are most likely going to see that under your home folder. So cd.msf4, okay, that's where I expect that database file to see in most other Linux version. But Kali Linux 2022, it's not here. It is under user share metasploit framework, then config, then you have the database. Now let's see what we can do here. Okay, so here if I do db connect again, or db status, it says connected. What if we do db disconnect? Is it a command? Let's see, db, yeah, there is disconnect. Wait, so let's do disconnect and hit enter, and it says successfully disconnected from the data service. If you do a db status, it says no connection. Okay. Now you can do a db connect again if we have that command, and it says, hey, I don't know where you're trying to connect, and this is why I'm trying to make sure that you knew how to provide the information. Okay, so you can actually write down your usernames and passwords like that, your name and connecting server and all of that, or you can just point it to the directory where we know that database.yml file is actually located. So what we're going to do, we know it's here. You just copy this, come back over here, where is it, here, and we're going to provide the full path, then do database.yml. So what I'm doing here, I know something happened, the database got disconnected. I just want to connect it back to the right database, and that's where my information is stored. So let's run this command, and this time it says, hey, it failed, and looks like however way I am logged in, the user, it's not liking that database connection. It says the role student does not exist. So we need to do and fix some stuff. So give me 1 second. Actually, I'm gonna try with database dash y. There are multiple ways. I think I may have forgot flag, and this y is not for yes. This is for the YAML. And if you look at over here, if you want to connect to the data that is specified in a YAML file, just use this flag. So I'm just gonna use that one and retry. Now I'm successful. Okay. So those are some of the important commands that you want to remember. So really come back. Let's rethink what we have learned. So you have learned how to open up a MSF console, okay? And anybody can do that because they're automatically installed. So the value for this video that we have added, now you know that there's a database file that gets configured automatically. Okay, all the username, password, they all get created. Now you know where the database file is. If something happens, okay, and your database gets corrupt, or you need to reconnect, anything like that, now you know how to go back to the database and find the file that you need. Okay, trust me, this is going to be useful for you at some point in your pen testing career. Well, thanks for watching the video. Have a good day. Thank you.